Was Jesus created by God, or has he always been? Many who teach that Jesus was created also teach that he is not God, or he was a lesser God created by God himself. Some even go as far as to say that he is the highest ranked angel, called an archangel. Here's one of the most commonly misused verses from this teaching. Colossians 1 and verse 15. Who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature. Notice the word firstborn? Some teach that this is saying Christ was the first created of all creation. However, that is indeed a misunderstanding of what Paul's teaching. The concept of the firstborn is associating the first son born in a family and is meant to show authority and ownership. The firstborn son has lordship over everything that belongs to the Father. Paul is not teaching that Jesus is created, he's teaching that Jesus has all authority. Just look at verse 16. For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible. Whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things were created by him and for him. Notice how Paul says all things. All means everything created. So then you would have to ask the question, did Jesus create himself? This presents a great deal of problems unless Jesus is eternal and not created. If you think that I'm twisting scripture, then let's go to a similar text that makes it even clearer. In John 1, starting at verse 1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Now notice verse 3. Not anything made that was made. This text teaches that the Word and God were at the beginning, and the Word is God. The Word and God are separate, but also one. According to the text, the Word created everything. But who is the Word? Verse 14 of John, one of the most significant verses in the entire Bible, gives us the answer. It reads, And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. This is speaking of no other than Jesus himself. Jesus is the Word. Jesus and God are separate but also one. He pre-existed creation according to verse 1 and created everything that has been created according to verse 3. It is without a doubt that Jesus is God and created all things. And yes, he is the firstborn because he owns and has authority over everything. So did Jesus, who is God, create himself? No, he has always been and will always be the Son of God.